In this video, I am going to give you a step-by-step guide on what you need to do if you want to become a social media manager. In this video, I'm going to show you how to become a social media manager, not a social media marketer, because there is a difference. A social media manager is someone who manages online presence or who manages social media presence of a business. It's like when a business have a virtual office, and when someone walk into their virtual office, they are going to see what they are offering. That is going to be your job as a social media manager. You will manage the virtual office or the social media office of your client business. When someone walk into their virtual office, they are going to see a good representation of what they are offering. And a social media marketer is different from a social media manager, because a social media marketer is responsible for bringing people to the storefront. A social media marketer is responsible for finding people, the right people, and brings them to the storefront, to the virtual storefront. And as a social media manager, your job is to show them around and show them what the business is offering. Social media management is easy to learn, and mostly because everyone uses social media. You are probably using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And those are the most common social media platforms that all businesses use. So now that we understand what a social media manager do and the difference between social media manager and social media marketer, I'm going to show you what skills you need to learn in order to become a social media manager. And the first thing you need to learn is managing a Facebook group. As a social media manager, you might work for a business who have a group, especially if you work for people who have a coaching services. And if you want to manage a Facebook group, you are going to have to learn how to approve member requests when someone wants to join a Facebook group. If the Facebook group is private, they will have to send a request. And your job will be to review the request, make sure they are the right type of people to join the group. If there are some specific questions that they need to answer, make sure they answer the questions right, and then you approve them. If they did not answer the questions right, then you can reject their request, or you can reject their request with feedback, and you let them know why you reject their request. You are also going to be responsible for approving posts. When someone make a post in a private group, you are going to review the post, make sure it does not violate the group's rules, and then you approve the request or you deny the request. Your job might also include scheduling posts inside the group, and if a member violates the group rules, or if the group is paid and a member stops paying, you will be responsible to find them in the group and remove them from the group. Generally, your job is going to be to manage everything that happens inside the group. So if you don't know anything about managing a Facebook group, this is going to be easy to learn, because all you need to do is just go to your own Facebook profile and create a test group. Invite your friends to the group and test everything you need to test and learn everything you need to learn about managing a Facebook group. The next thing you are going to want to learn is how to manage a page, a Facebook page. Managing a Facebook page is even easier than managing a Facebook group, because there are less moving parts. All you need to do really in order to manage a Facebook page is learn how to schedule posts, learn how to also check for engagement, and learn how to respond to DMs. And you don't need to learn how to respond to DMs if you already have a Facebook group, because if you have a Facebook group, then you are chatting with people. If you are chatting with people, it's the same. If you are managing a Facebook page, people or customers or clients can send a message to the page, and you can check the message and respond to it. And you can also engage with other relevant pages, and you can also schedule posts in the group. The next important thing you might want to learn is basic graphic design. If you want to be an effective social media manager, it is going to be a good idea to learn how to create social media graphics. And this is easy. You don't need to learn Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, or any complicated software. All you need is Canva. If you know how to use Canva, then you can easily create social media graphics. And if you don't know how to use Canva and you never used Canva before, I have a mini course on Canva. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. You can watch the video and you can learn everything you need to know about creating social media graphics using Canva. The next thing you might want to learn is basic video editing. This is not a must. You don't need to learn it, but it's good to learn basic video editing, because when you work for some client, they are going to want you to create reels. vertical video, 60-second vertical video. And this is easy, especially if they have like a YouTube channel with long form videos. You can download their long form videos and cut them into 60-second shot into a vertical video and simply add some captions. And this can easily be done using CapCut. Even on your own mobile phone, you can use a CapCut video editor and you can easily make a vertical short form video and add captions to it. And the next thing you will want to learn is how to create a content calendar. Content calendar is how you just plan content for a long period of time. For example, in the beginning of each month, you can create a content plan, what you are going to post, when you are going to post, and the type of post you are going to make for the entire month. That is content calendar. And there are a lot of templates also for content calendar. But to make it even easier, you can simply go to Google Sheet and you can find a template for content planning. And you can plan your content for an entire month. And there are many other tools. Most of the social media scheduling tools have content calendar. You can use their content calendar to plan your content for an entire month or even more than a month. So if you want to learn how to create a content calendar, a content plan, you just need to do a search on YouTube or Google, or even ask ChatGPT, and you will be able to find a template that you can practice with and practice creating content plan or content calendar. The next thing you are going to want to learn is writing engaging captions. When you work as a social media manager, you are going to be scheduling content. And when you schedule content, you are not only going to schedule a graphic, you are going to write caption for the graphic. So depending on the type of business you work for, it will be a good idea for you to learn how to write engaging content. And that is a lot easier now with ChatGPT. Really, all you need to do is find similar brand, find similar businesses, and you can just see the type of content they post. You can see how they write their captions. ChatGPT is very smart. It is going to help you create the right captions and create a more engaging content. The next thing you are going to want to learn is creating a report. If you work for someone as a social media manager, they are going to want to see a report, maybe weekly or monthly or quarterly, depending on what you do for them and the amount of work you do for them. And all you need to do is learn how to create a template report that you can insert the number of posts you publish, the number of engagement you get, how the engagement increased compared to the previous month, and these kind of things. And whether on Facebook or Instagram, they all have their own analytics, and you can simply check the analytics and you can find all the metrics that you can just input into your report and you send it to your client. It will also be a good idea to learn how to use some scheduling tools. But the problem is there are a lot of scheduling tools and you don't know what your client are going to be using. So that is why learning how to use a scheduling tool is not something that you have to do in the beginning. When you find the client, depending on what they use, you can simply go ahead and start using it and start learning how to use it. And if a client doesn't really have a preference, especially if you are only going to manage like Facebook and Instagram for them, you can use Meta Creator Studio. There are other tools like Tailwind, Social Bee, Social Pilot. There are a lot of them. But if you learn how to use Facebook Creator Studio, then learning how to use other tools is not going to be that difficult. So those are really all the things you need to learn if you want to become a social media manager. And the next thing after you learn all these skills is create a portfolio. You need a portfolio to showcase what you can do for your client. And since you are doing social media management, in your portfolio, you can include the graphics, social media graphics that you can create. You can add a screenshot of your social media analytics to show your potential client you know how to use analytics. And generally, fill up your portfolio with visual representation of what you can do for your client. And as soon as you have the skills, you create your portfolio, you can simply start reaching out to clients. And if you want to learn more about how to create the right portfolio that is going to increase your chances of getting hired, you can watch this next video. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.